Just the tips.
Now, if you're watching this all the way to the end, I'm going to put this in the beginning also. When you see the content from 17 on day 2 at Tobacco Road, you're going to like it.
All right, everybody. Adam and Mike with Just the Tips, back home at the Maximum Results Fitness Studio.
Yeah, man. How you doing?
Good. Happy New Year.
You haven't been here in a while. Happy New Year.
I haven't. Well, it's the first of the year, so like everybody else, I'm back in the gym.
Yeah. We've been pretty busy.
Have
I've
you-
been in here.
Have you noticed an uptick this
Oh,
year?
yeah. I mean, all the time. All the
Yeah.
time. You know, getting through these last couple weeks of holidays, it's a little slow, and then everybody's back at it.
Because I would think your clientele is, I mean, they're pretty focused. They're,
Yeah,
they're
my
not fair
people-
weather.
Yeah, I'm not. It's not like that, but they, they're all doing stuff.
Yeah.
They're all busy, or they're traveling and stuff like that. So everybody's back now.
So back, ready to rock and roll. So
How you feeling?
healthy, happy, and terrific.
How's the hand?
It's good. And you told your family that I cut my entire hand off.
Yeah, and I was rolling with it too.
I was getting a hook.
Yeah, we wait till you get your Christmas present. Custom Just the Tips hook.
By the way, a lot of love from our listeners and subscribers reaching out, checking to see how I'm doing.
Yeah, man.
Although I would say freaking like the freaking posts. If you guys are watching this much to know that I'm hurt, like the freaking channel,
click like.
dude.
Just click
All right.
like, yep.
But no, I went the other day to the hand specialist,
Yeah.
and the guy was like, no, it's like no restrictions. He's like, just go as pain allows, and like I said, so I'm working my way back.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
here's to 2025, dude.
Dude, we're off to a little bit of a rocky start, but
Yeah.
but
well, did that happen? No, that happened in December.
exactly,
correct?
yeah,
so you're
exactly.
good.
That
Yeah,
was
yeah.
that
Don't
was
feel
last
it, yeah.
year.
Yeah.
2025 is off to a roaring start, and again, we should thank our sponsors real quick.
Yeah.
Like
Sundog?
Sundog, baby.
Yeah, man.
So I'm ready to retire these.
Oh, yeah?
Are we ready to order new Sundogs?
Always, dude. I'm
All right.
always ready. Yeah.
All right, we'll do.
We're going to Florida.
Yeah, we'll do that before we leave today. I got to see what style for 2025 is going to bring me the lowest scores.
Yeah, and then we got Saturday Skins.
Dude, let's go Saturday Skins. Buy your shirt.
Buy your shirt.
Buy your shirt.
We got some content coming out with them soon, so we're not going to talk too much about that, but buy your shirt.
Exactly.
Ball Hawker. Oh, Base Cigars.
Base
dude.
Cigars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go check out his links right now because he's selling a like a surprise, a mystery pack. I think it's 6 cigars and a couple stickers for like $60.
Really?
Yeah.
So amazing deal, shipped directly to the house, and he's not joking around. These are boutique cigars,
Yeah.
right? You're not going to find them in your local smoke shop.
Yep. Ball Hawker.
Ball Hawker, Todd, what's up?
What's up, Todd?
We're ready. We need some more balls.
Yeah, send them our way.
Yeah.
Who else we got? Who we missing?
Shaft Wraps.
Shaft
Yeah.
Wraps.
Shaft Wraps been tagging us in a lot of stuff. Their posts are so good though.
Yeah,
they do such
I'm
cool
jealous
stuff.
of that guy.
So I'm thinking about switching up to a Scotty Cameron blade, and I'm looking at that shaft, and it's naked, and it's straight, and I'm
Yeah.
saying, what could possibly go on a Scotty Cameron? Put it in the comments what shaft wrap you think I should put on that Scotty
Ooh,
Cameron.
I'm not gonna comment on it.
Yeah,
And then we got Ken at Custom Wedgewoods.
dude, let's go, Ken.
Yeah, dude. He texted me this morning.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you what he asked for,
Okay,
but he texted me this.
dude, he's got all his fingers.
Yeah, he's got his fingers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's not an amateur. This dude is a pro.
Yeah.
Did you see the
Yeah.
ashtray? I mean, come
Yeah,
on, bro.
come on.
Yeah, we're gonna bust that ashtray out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get Base Cigars in the Custom Wedgewoods ashtray.
So good.
Let's
So
go.
good. Yeah,
Yep.
so,
But
all right, listen. I want to talk about something about you because I feel like this is a surprise. Your favorite moment of 2024.
so here's the thing, and I'll be brief about it, but I hate this stuff, right?
Well-
What's your favorite song? What's your favorite movie? It's really got to be in
Just trying to
time.
get to know you.
Feeling cute.
What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Except my kids are like this little kids are like this forever. That's how I ended up with the color orange. I couldn't pick, they picked for me. Now everything is orange in my house, right? So I feel like there's a lot of nuance, but if you put my feet to the fire and you said of all the incredible things we did this year, and they are incredible, and it was so much fun, by the way, being laid up, going through all my videos for the year. It took me 2 days on the couch just to clear out my phone, right?
Yeah.
But if I had to go back and think of all the things we did, the people we met, the places we went, the great rounds, the unbelievable shots, the tournaments, the wins, the everything, number one on the top of everything else that sticks out is the first time walking through the door at the Ocean Course at Kiowa.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's number one. Because, you talked about that once, and I was like, all right, he talked about it. He said it how probably most people said it, but then you didn't talk about it anymore. And I didn't even ask you about it more.
That one affects me. I probably think about that more than any other memory of the year, where we didn't park because we wanted to clean out our bags for Ribo,
so
and
we didn't pull up to the bag drop.
Yeah, so we were down in the parking lot, and so when you walk up to the front of this, it just looks like a clubhouse, but it's kind of protects everything. And you open up this they open up the big, giant, massive door for you, and you're basically like in this really fancy, giant living room, but there's a window that's got to be 12 feet tall and 20 feet wide that just frames the Atlantic Ocean overlooking the putting green. And I'm like, oh my God. It takes your breath away what that view they created there is,
So the cool thing about that clubhouse is it's fairly new. Now, they built that when I worked there. I think they built that in they're going to kill me if I get this wrong. I would say somewhere around 2007 to 2009.
Okay.
Somewhere around there.
You
I started working there in 2005.
But you said back then they dropped $25 million on it.
$25 million. They had dude. So the clubhouse used to be down a little bit closer to the first tee.
Okay. Down like where those cabins are now?
Past the cabins. It actually was on the back end of the range. So the back end of that range, we used to hit from there, hitting that way.
Huh.
And that clubhouse, there used to just be dunes there off of 18 green.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, for like a year, dump trucks just laying dirt there, coming in from I don't even know where, but it was just like I couldn't imagine what it looked like out on the road of just dump truck. Every probably I would say every 5 minutes a dump truck would come by and drop a load of dirt for like a year straight.
Wow.
Come on. There we go. And they built that, man. It was something amazing. And then when it wasn't there, you saw the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
And then when they built it and then blocked it, and then you get that surprise, you're like you forgot what it looked like for a little while, and it was like just absolutely stunning, amazing, such great work. And
yeah, I just think about that a lot. That it took my breath. I mean, we talked about it. I've seen flyovers of the course. I've seen pictures. I know it's on the Atlantic Ocean. But
it's
like
the Ocean Course.
Exactly. But to come in and that view, that opening the door and looking through there,
like a TV, like a screen.
That's what it is, and that's worth $25 million. Whatever that costs, that they did it, right? Yeah. The $25 million view.
So that's your favorite moment, just that, or like the whole Ocean Course experience, or mainly just that.
I mean, I could go on and on, about the whole thing, but if you want a moment in time of 2024, and by the way, I had children born, charities,
it was not in 2024.
beat illnesses and stuff like that. Those weren't as good.
Chopping your finger off wasn't in the top 3 of 2024.
By the way, you people and the Just the Tips comments, enough already. All right.
Just no more tips.
Exactly, missing the tip. Yeah. So, what's you're better at this than I am. You're like you think about it more. You think about it more traditionally.
Like you were saying, it's very tough because we've had such an amazing year. And then also we did the top 10 courses countdown. Yeah. And I feel bad. Caledonia's a heart and soul course for me, and to put them 7th on my list is tough. Ocean Course was 2nd.
Dude, they didn't make my list. Caledonia and True Blue weren't on my list. I know you didn't like my list, but
I didn't like your list.
I thought yours was excellent.
There's a lot of people who didn't like your list. I put True Blue as number 5, above Caledonia. Again, only because of just the so many other first-time things that we did in 24. Now, the first time I played Caledonia was number 1 on my list. Yep. And probably the second and third time, it was still up there. But not that it's gotten worse or anything like that. It's just playing Bulls Bay for the first time and playing Tobacco Road for the first time. It just that new experience was that same feeling I got the first time I drove down the road the driveway at Caledonia.
So when you talk to like Lisa, and you're like, it's just
It's not better. It's just different.
there might be something new out there, like something I don't even know about.
We're not on the press release with that. I hope she doesn't watch this. Anyway, so again, it's tough to pick one, but I did have a really special moment this year.
Yeah.
It was a hole-in-one, man.
Yeah, I mean that trumps everything.
Yeah.
That's on.
And it was
top.
even better that you weren't even there.
It wasn't.
That you were supposed to be there and supposed to be back.
I know.
And you weren't there.
And by the way, second year in a row now that we've had a hole-in-one. I had one, then you had one in September during 75 hard.
During 75 hard, and the other person wasn't there.
Yeah. So only thing left to do. So apparently one of us gets a hole-in-one every year. Okay, so
it's your turn.
Well, who knows? One of us will get a hole-in-one this year.
Yeah, and I just got to not be with you. So when I go play the ocean course this year, just don't be around. So I can make a hole-in-one.
So here's the thing: I don't think you did it justice, because I know you didn't see it go in the hole. And I know that's always a big thing. Like during the PNC Championship, Charlie Woods didn't see it go in the hole. And you can tell like it's a different thing than when you see it like drop in the hole.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Did you see yours drop in the hole?
No, but Bird did.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought it went behind the pin.
Well, I didn't want to get my hopes up.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't want to be that guy.
Yeah. I didn't want to be like screaming and yelling, and then it be 20 yards off the back of the green. I saw it go towards the hole. It had a little zip on it, so I was like, oh, that might go in, or it might ricochet into the bunker.
Yeah.
So I was like, whatever. But then the guys went over and checked, and it was in. We were super excited.
Yeah.
I didn't do it as much justice after, because one, we were playing in the Ryder Cup, and we had so much more stuff going on, and then there was drama after the Ryder Cup that kind of lost its lust a little bit at the end, because we ended up tying the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
And then it was my second one. It's like a regular thing for me now.
Once every 25 years, whether you need one or not, you're going to get a hole-in-one.
Yeah.
There you go.
Let's see. My last one had to be 2008-ish.
Okay, so
what's that?
it's 14,
16 years.
16 years? Wow.
Ooh, I can't wait another 16.
No. So statistically, it's 2,500 to 1, right? So you figure in 18 holes, there's usually 4 par 4s, right? So it's roughly 600 rounds. So 4 par 3s rather. So you're roughly 600 rounds. Now, if you're the average recreational golfer and you play once a week, it's going to take you in a lifetime to get one. But if you and I play 100 rounds a year, it's once every 5 or 6 years you should get a hole-in-one.
So what I just heard is we need to just play more golf.
If we played 600 rounds a year, you would guarantee yourself a hole-in-one every year.
All right.
All right.
Let's shoot for that.
All right.
So speaking of, you got any idea about what your 2025 goals are? We don't have to go into them yet.
No.
We'll talk about it next podcast.
No, I do. I have some really strong, meaningful goals on a bunch of different fronts. Some for the channel, some for me personally, some for the playing, some for fitness. It's that time of year where it's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the time where anything's a possibility, and you get to create it. Yep. So I'm excited about 2025 and what these goals are.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that next week and a little bit more of some other stuff. But right now,
number one goal: way less, make more. That's always been the goal. Yeah, exactly.
So right now we have Royal New Kent stuff coming out, and we dropped some stuff all this past week. I put out the front 9 of Royal New Kent, which is doing pretty well.
That turned out nice.
It is fun,
dude. With the flyover with the letters for Royal New Kent coming up, I thought that was a great edit. Yeah.
I don't even know how I did it.
No.
No, I do, but it was a lot of work, and I wasn't sure how it was going to come out, and it came out
great.
It came out better than I expected, but not as good as I wanted it.
Really?
I mean, does that make sense?
It's like the way I paint.
But
it's better than I expected. Not as good as I wanted.
The content's coming out all week this past week, and we still got a couple more things to drop of it. And then where we left off last week in our podcast, we were hopping in the car, leaving Royal New Kent in Providence, Fords, Virginia.
Yep.
and driving to Sanford, North Carolina.
So
and we stopped on the way for some good barbecue.
So at this point, though, just understand that it'd been a full Thanksgiving day. I got a couple hours sleep. I drove through the night. Mike got a couple hours sleep in the car, but neither one of us anything substantial, like a couple hours sleep. We got to the course early. We played all day. The weather was good, but it's still chilly. You know, it always takes a little bit more out of you. We crashed the drone, which was emotionally devastating.
It was.
Then we drove a couple hours. We had lunch. We had an unbelievable dinner, and just starving, you know, and like the first beer of the trip.
Oh yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
And then we get to the hotel, and I think I never slept better than I ever slept in my life that night.
Yeah. So, all right. So, Sanford, North Carolina, was stayed at Hampton Inn.
Shout out to Hilton Properties in general, but Hampton Inns, waffles and Wi-Fi. I'm a Diamond member.
You know, listen, I think I've never been that guy that needs that fancy hotel, especially when all we're doing is sleeping in a bed.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need all the essentials of, you know, this and that. We get in, we sleep, man.
The sleep of the dead. And but again, you know, coming off of a good, you know, just a really nice Thanksgiving, a full night of travel, a great 18 holes, the emotional loss of the drone, another couple hour drive, an unbelievable dinner. But you want to talk about, like, when people say, like, I don't sleep at night, you know, and they're like, well, what'd you do all day? Well, you know, I sat around watching TV. You don't deserve to sleep.
Yeah.
This is emotionally, physically, everything.
You did all the driving.
But who cares? You know, like I said, travel's still travel.
But the next thing, the way that I set up this trip was the next course, the next morning was 10 minutes away.
Yeah. Yep.
And we were staying in that same hotel that night, so no travel this day.
No. So we got a chance to go to a place that I couldn't have been more excited. Sometimes we get to go places and I get like giddy, like weeks in advance, and this was one of them. So you know, we've said Tobacco Road before is a course that we wanted to play. And again, it was Jesse Steele. You know, I was supposed to play with Bird one day, and he invited a couple of friends, and Bird threw out his back. And I'm with these guys I don't even know. It's the first time meeting Jesse Steele. He's a hell of a golfer. And him and the other guy were talking about Tobacco Road, and I was just listening. And I go, I don't know what a Tobacco Road is, but I want to play it. And they talked about it with such reverence, and they talked about it it was just so cool. I went and looked it up, and I'm like, I want to play Tobacco Road.
Yeah.
You know, and I just thought it just.
And you didn't know Strantz. You didn't know about he designed this.
No, we didn't have the channel going yet. Yeah. I don't even know if we were working out yet, or it was.
Where did you play with Jesse?
At Apple Greens, and it was like Thanksgiving week of like 21.
Oh yeah.
You know, no. So this, you know, and again, I didn't think I'd ever play there because I wasn't traveling for golf at the time, you know, things like that. So this was a long time coming, and in the meantime, we've learned about Mike Strantz. We know a lot of people that played the course. My favorite.
We were supposed to play it over the summer.
My favorite podcast has their championships there.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
right. Yeah.
So I couldn't have been more excited. What was your first impression, though? I mean, you see that sign. It's like an old gas sign.
So, I mean, whenever I go to play some of these places, like, I want to play well, and I don't want to be surprised in golf, right? Like, so I will be like, all right, this hole, you definitely shouldn't hit driver and things like that. For some reason, I didn't do that at Royal Newcat on the back nine. One, because nobody has a big long form video of hole by hole of Royal Newcat. So
yeah,
man, now it's small. But at Tobacco Road, I kind of did a little homework.
There's a lot of videos of Tobacco Road, as there should be.
There you go. I was still super surprised when I got there. I was like, dude, I mean, I think the name itself just like tells you what to expect. But then when you get there, you're like, it's even better.
It's better.
Oh my God.
It's better. And I didn't know how it could be better because when you first come in, as you're coming down the road, you kind of see the 13th green and 14th tee complex.
Your camera's ready,
and you're like, what is that? You know what it reminded me of? It's like when you're first pulling into Disney World and you can see like a roller coaster like in the distance. You're like, what's that one? What's that one?
Yeah.
It's the same feeling, dude. And you pull down the road and then you see like the rest of 14 green, the little cabin. But then you're going through these tall pines. And you come up, and again, it's another perfect Strantz clubhouse where you're like, I'm going to a cabin in the woods.
It's a log cabin in the woods.
I'm going to a cabin.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think you talked about it. You actually talked about it when we did podcasts on site.
Yeah.
You talked about like the music.
Oh, dude, come on.
And
it's so
just
classy.
The whole atmosphere is just. It's that southern log cabin in the woods. What you would expect from a golf course called Tobacco Road that used to be old tobacco fields or coal mines or whatever
sand mine, right?
And then times 10.
Yeah.
Times 10.
So what struck me is like right out of the get, you pull down into like the cart barn, so instead of like the bag drop being in front of the clubhouse, like the guys in the cart barn are like part of the experience, and and it's like, hey, you're getting geared up and drop off your stuff, and it's by the range and things. But the clubhouse I thought was amazing on the inside. It was chilly in the morning. They had a frost delay going on, but they have this really cool fireplace in there. All the guys are hanging out. So first off, clothes, ridiculously reasonable, really, normal price shirts, normal priced hats, head covers for $40. The food there, they got a little snack shop. Beers are $3. Cigars are $10. How much was your mustard sandwich?
It was like $3.
Yeah, but like an egg salad sandwich, but they do it Southern style.
Yeah, it's a mustard sandwich with some eggs in it.
Yeah, which I love. Yep. But like $3, so they're being so reasonable once you're on property. Yeah. Like once you pay your greens fee, the rest of it's an easy day. But you get out there on the first tee, and again, more Southern hospitality. Yeah. The starter's gonna give you like a history lesson. He's like a tour guide. Yeah. And a spotter for your first shot too, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, that was really cool because you're gonna need it. Mm-hmm. Again, a beautiful Mike Strantz first tee shot, kind of smack you in the face with like, hey, you're here for an experience. You got two big hills. I mean, I don't even think you can explain it. I really don't, because again, I've watched multiple videos of this first hole.
Yeah.
And it's just this amazing Mike Strantz Southern coal mine Tobacco Road tee shot.
So I think that first hole frames out the course so well, just like you're talking about. Like if you've ever been to a big gravel pit or a sand mine.
You said it best when in the on-site podcast.
Yeah.
You said if you and your buddies were driving like four-wheelers around
here,
and then they just slapped the golf course on top.
They said you can't ride four-wheelers anymore. We're bringing in sod, and we're because again, if you had a dirt bike, what a cool place to jump off the side of these hills, ride up these things, or like a place you might go hunting.
And they left all the jumps there.
They left the jumps.
They left the jumps there. There just happened to be grass and heather on top of it.
So downhill, so you got these two grand tetons. Make sure you're playing the right tees, because from the right tees you can drive over top of that. I think that should be the judgment. If you're playing the right tees, if you hit a good shot and you can't get past those two hills, you're playing the wrong tees. The one on the right. If you're drawing the ball, as we found out, the one on the left can play a little bit longer. Yeah. But you should be able to hit it over the hill on the right with a good tee shot.
The right side,
yeah, no kidding.
A little bit.
But a downhill par 5, and what a cool hole to start out with. Yeah. You go to the hole number 2, and now again you got another crazy looking shot. Where if you don't know where Willie Downs from Royal New Kent said about Strantz courses, you need to play them 3 or 4 times. Yeah. This one, we're like, I don't know what we're aiming at. And they even warned us in the pro shop. They're like, aim between the bunker and the tree on hole 2. And I'm like, there can't be a fairway over there. Yeah. It's another Strantz look.
You could barely see it. I hit a crappy shot on the tee shot, and then I didn't know where I was going on my next shot. I just hit it, and I actually
hit it on the green.
Yep. But
you don't know where you're going.
It's an adventure.
Yeah,
it is an adventure.
And once you get up there, you're like, oh, okay.
So let's talk about Disney. So what's the railroad one?
Thunder Mountain Road.
Thunder Mountain.
Yeah.
This is Thunder Mountain's golf course.
Yep.
That's what this place is.
So I'll go hole by hole with you because
are we doing that?
I just real quick, just Just
The only thing you have to real quick with is cut your finger off.
Zip. Just real fast though. My favorite part of number 3 was the way the green sets up.
Yeah,
it's
my
like
favorite part of number 3 is almost making a hole in one.
yeah, no kidding.
And you hitting a shot and you're like, you can't get better than that.
No.
And then I was
Stuffed it. So there's a lot of green. There's like a swell in the front, and there's a lot of green that you can't see. And the green, again, looks like it's tight, but the move, instead of hitting it to the back and letting it roll down or spinning it back, letting it a little short and letting it roll on.
Your pitching wedge like I did, and then get lucky and roll it off.
Dude, it's such a cool par 3. It's a lot of fun to play. Then 4 is a classic Strantz par 5, but this one's a little easier because instead of carrying a holler or water, you're only carrying a big sand trap. Yeah. And it's, dude, for someone to
in there, no?
day 1 I knocked it on the green too. Yep. So
oh right.
yep. Yeah. So cool par 5, but then you come to one of my favorite. Another one of my favorite ones. Number 5 is such a cool par 4.
So number 5, actually looking at footage of Royal Newcam, reminds me of number 11.
Oh yeah. What's cool about that hole though is you can hit driver or 3-wood or 5-iron. It really doesn't matter. But the bottom line is you have to hit the ball somewhere where you can hit it again. Yeah. And like you can drive the ball past the green theoretically and come in from the side, but you better hit it straight. Yep. So
there's grass there.
Dude,
there's actually a little path to go through.
One of my favorite videos we took is me in that giant bunker on the right side or on the left side. It's the entire hole. It's from the tee box to the green on a par 4, and it's bigger than the fairway. And it was fun to be in.
We are, as he's explaining this, I'm going to put videos out this week coming up and into next week, so you can see.
Yeah, just look.
Everything he's saying, you're not really going to be able to understand it, and even the camera
doesn't do it
justice.
justice.
What camera you have, I don't care how good of a cinematographer you are. It does not.
You can get George Lucas out there. He can't do it. So you played the par 3 6 really well both times.
Both times.
Yeah. Which is again another Strantz hole. Yeah. There must be 55 different places to put a tee box.
All the way around, and you talk about an amphitheater. I would almost categorize that as like a floating green, because if you have these tee boxes all the way around, but you have this green that sits in a certain way that if you're here but you're closer, but it's a harder angle.
Yeah.
Or you're here but you're further, but it's a better angle. It was just so well designed, such an awesome hole.
And it's all carry over this wasteland, which really doesn't come into play, kind of, unless you're a little bit short. But they also have left like the remnants of a water tower or something in the middle of it. You know, it's a more Thunder Mountain Railroad kind of looking thing. And I asked about, because a lot of this built up sand dunes have old big giant railroad ties or tobacco barn beams, and those are functional. They're holding the thing together. But what a cool par 3. And then 7, holy cow.
7, you gotta wait for you to hear the bell.
Yeah.
Right? And then 1, you have to hit the bell.
Mm-hmm.
Was there another bell between there? I don't know.
No.
1, and then 7, you have to hit a bell for the fairway to be clear, because you're just hitting down this.
It's got to be 100 yards wide. It's like a ski slope.
Down.
Yeah.
But you get down there, and then all of a sudden you see that there's this like marshland up there.
Protected wetlands.
Yeah, and then you're hitting into this like a floating green.
The green, there's like a green, and then it's way up a hill, and then there's another piece of a green over here, and then it's down here. And then there's a giant tree, and then over the green is death and destruction.
Yeah.
So short is a waste area. The green is bigger than your local Walmart.
Short is a wetland. You're not playing it out of it.
No.
Yeah.
So, and then there's
long either.
No, long is Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Short is wetlands, and then this green is a roller coaster.
Thunder Mountain meets Mad Max.
Yeah.
Tobacco Road.
Thunder Mountain Railroad meets Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Mad Max Beyond Thunder Mountain Railroad. Yeah. There it is.
So 8, cool little par 3. Not little.
No.
Not little.
Downhill. And this is the one thing that Strantz gets me the more I think about it. He's got these holes that are super gettable until they make the green really, really thin from front to back.
Yeah, and if they tuck that pin, which they did, they tuck that pin to the back, it's now it's tough again.
Yep.
So it's awesome.
All right, I'll arm wrestle you to talk about number 9. All right. Like I said,
I
oh,
know,
I
like,
can't. I can't.
I
You, so
leave
you
that
win.
every time anyway.
Yeah.
You can go.
All right.
I'll let you go since you.
No, number 9 was the coolest hole out there. One of my favorites.
I think visually off the tee, you have no idea what's going on.
So we're in the cart for 5 minutes, touching the screen, going, if you hit it here, but if you miss it here, but if you're over,
But there was a group of guys in front of us,
Yeah.
and we were like, well, no, they're there, I think.
Yeah,
right? And
yep.
you were like, no, I think we're here, and I think that tree's reachable.
So I had to call my 8th grade math teacher, and I'm like, how's that shadow and the ladder thing work so I can see how far the thing is? But long story short, I had a good round going on, and I need to par this hole, and you can see the waist area up by the green and the stairs, and it's like climbing a stairway to heaven. And I go, but you have to get it somewhere near the fairway, and I kind of did, but still blocked out by the tree. So the first shot's intimidating. The second shot though is ridiculous. So from the fairway to the green has to be 150 feet above you, and then if you miss left, it's not too bad, but if you miss right,
I think if you miss left, it'll probably keep you. There's a hill there.
I was short the one time, and it's not a picnic, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Where that sand trap complex, that if you were to hit it right in there, I don't know what you would do.
I don't think you'd find it.
You'd take an unplayable
Yeah.
and throw it on the green. I don't know if you could throw it on the green. I don't know if my arm's that strong.
Yeah, don't go left or don't go right.
But the green sets up like a taco. It's incredible.
It's long.
Yeah, I was
Your third shot was a little long, and then your fourth shot was good.
yeah.
Yeah, and then you almost you were like, I think I gotta chip it here.
Yeah, I chipped it. I'm not on the green. I chipped it into the hill and let it trickle down on. So
I parred that hole.
you did too.
I did.
So we made the turn, and it was like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, I need a break. I need when you go watch a 3D movie.
Yeah.
And everything is just in your face, and you're excited, and all this entertainment going on.
Yep.
You get to the turn, and you take your 3D glasses off for
Yep.
a breather.
Yeah, you're
In a good way.
You're like, I need a mustard sandwich.
I need a mustard sandwich with some eggs.
Yep.
And some beef jerky, and you're right back at it. You get on the 10th tee, and you're just like, let me put these.
But now that you're on 10, it's like one of the first holes where you can really see how big the property is. Like you're looking down the valley, and you're like, holy Christ!
I think that's one of the holes where there's not something that's is blocking anything.
Blocking the view of the tee shot, or protecting a piece of the view of the tee shot. You can finally see the entirety of the fairway, although no picnic, because another crescent-shaped hole. Bunkers.
But then he's blocking the green.
Especially if you hit the fairway, you're blocked from the green. Where you hit it, you had a good view of the green.
Well, yeah. That was my plan.
Hit the cart path and be up in the fescue, but you had a perfect view of the green. So then we get to number 12, and when we 11, we get to number 11, and they go, hey, number 11 is the hole that you have to hit it. Don't hit it the sand trap, but go down in there and hit it.
Definitely.
So Mike Strantz, crescent-shaped par 5, button hook. From the tee box to the green was what, 270?
287.
287 as the crow flies over the woods. Neither one of us has that game. But you hit it into the fairway, and you're left with 200?
So
200?
200, but it's the same as number 2 at Royal New Kent.
Yeah.
Right? The more
Same.
you cheat over to the right side,
Yep.
the less you have on your next shot.
Yeah.
But again, at Royal New Kent, that was stuff that you weren't finding your ball.
Cricker bushes and the briar rabbit.
I didn't even see paths in there.
No, there was no wait.
Yeah.
This one, again, from the bottom of the bunker to the green is a wall that's got to be 35 feet, 40 feet straight up.
With some railroad ties holding some things up, and there's some ledges and stuff like that.
So we both hit it in there. Yeah.
You hit it in there.
Going for it.
You went for it.
Yeah.
I did not. I chickened out left and then just hit it like crap.
Yeah.
You hit one and hit one of those woods.
I was little breeze up there, Rome, and it ends up back in the bunker, and then maybe I hit the greatest bunker shot of my life. Full swing, 60 degrees, straight up, You know?
Did a great shot.
Yeah.
I did not, but absolutely awesome hole. I would recommend, like you just said, I would say to get a full view of the hole, go play the smart way.
Yeah.
And after number 2 at Royal New Kent, just play the smart way.
Mm-hmm.
And then throw a ball down there and go hit out of it.
Yeah.
But if you go around the outside and play it smart, you get a full sense of like what that does.
You'd be like a driver mid-iron wedge.
Dude,
It's a nice, easy par 5.
And,
Yeah.
And you'll birdie it.
Yeah. Yep. Or
you make an 8.
yeah. So you were saying about number 12 that number 12 is there to give you a break.
Number 12 is, again, it's one of those holes that you get to see the whole hole. There's nothing, he's not hiding anything. The first, when we teed off there, I think you were doing something. And you were like on your phone or something. And I did a couple little touches and I hit one out there.
Yeah.
And then you didn't ask any questions. You're like, what's this, a par 4? I'm like, yeah, par 4, that's the flag right over there. And you just hit one.
Yeah.
We were both in the middle of the fairway. We both, I think we both made
knock it on the green. So again, it was nice, easy. We're like, okay.
Yeah. And then you get to 13.
So
I think we were touching the screen for
a
like
lot.
10 minutes.
So I'm looking and I'm like, there's like this bunker complex that goes around the corner, and then I'm not sure what's going on. I've never been more confused on a golf hole in my life.
Yeah, I could tell the way you were driving the cart.
Dude, I'm like, this is not a cart path. I'm like, I'm the only one here. I almost got the cart stuck.
So here's the thing
I almost got
about
the cart
Mike
stuck
Strantz
in the cart path.
Royal New Kent number 14 did this on his green. Remember that short par 4 on the other side of the road?
Yeah.
And then the problem with Mike Strantz courses is he locks you in certain areas because he loves to like kind of block out certain shots to where there's only like 1 or 2 entrances where you can either walk to the green or drive a cart around in the fairway.
So it creates an incredible amount of traffic.
It does.
Yeah.
So what they try to do on 13 is they get you off of the fairway and put you into this cart path. But again, it's the only place to drive. So that cart path is sand and it's soft. And
I don't know what I was doing. I didn't know I was supposed to be in there. The cart's beeping at me.
he's yelling at me. I'm like, pivot.
So long story short though is once you get past all this stuff to a landing area, you can't see the pin because this is the hole that you see off the highway when you're coming in. It sits in like a crater where there's like a door. It's the only way to describe it, to where you can see there's a green there, and then it's like a crater where the green is in the bottom of the crater.
Giant version of some sort of mini golf hole.
Yep.
But it's awesome.
So it's like if you took an excavator and you just started digging, like you were going to dig a pond out, and then where the pond should be.
Put the dirt up that you just dug out around it.
Yep. And then instead of a pond in the bottom, you just put a golf green. Yep. So.
And it's absolutely stunning.
And you have to drive up through the 14T complex to get over there. So 13 green, 14T complex, it's all built up. There's a zillion. Oh, dude, it's so cool.
It is so cool.
And then there's that stupid sign. I don't know why I like that sign so much. The Tobacco Road sign.
Tobacco Road sign in the distance.
Yep, it looks like an old oil sign, like an old Shell sign or Dynaco, you know?
And then you could look down on the green.
Yep.
And then you could look down at 14 green.
Yep.
And then you go up on the tee box.
So 14 though, you know what 14 I think is the biggest departure from the rest of the course. 14 reminded me more of a Myrtle Beach TPC Sawgrass hole. You know, it's on the road coming in. It's this big giant beautiful blue lake. It's a relatively big flat green. The tee box is super cool, but I almost felt like that green complex, that hole is like out of place.
Really?
Yeah. Because it just doesn't fit with the rest of the holes. I'm not mad about it.
I'm trying to think if we can compare it to anything.
It reminds me more like a Pete Dye. You know, it's so like railroad ties and everything's perfect. Where all the other courses like fescue and rocks and all this other
like
chaos going on.
The water there, and you have a bunker running the whole left side of the green. Again, you could see the whole hole.
Yeah.
You know, whereas like the whole previous, you're blocked out on the green, and your second shot.
Yeah.
12 was, again, he likes to build things up with these knolls and these, dunes where you see that whole hole, and I think that's what
I think Tobacco Road feels like there's chaos around every turn, right?
chaos.
And because it's like,
I don't say Strantz, man. It's not. It's instead of saying chaos, you say Strantz.
I think it's like
Controlled chaos.
it's certainly controlled, but you get to this one and it's more like, oh, this is very pristine. It's like like Pete Dye stopped by for one quick hole. He's like, I'm gonna put up some railroad ties. We're gonna. I'm gonna have a regular
I think also
traditional
we
bunker.
had a nice, beautiful day where that lake was calm.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So everything. Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it, and hopefully you did it on purpose. Like you get up on that tee box and then you get like peace. For that whole hole.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
he probably did. You know what? Like I would say Strantz, he does all this shit on purpose. So,
Yeah.
Like you get peace. You get. I mean, not that it's an easy hole by any
No.
means.
No.
I mean, I play it like this, but you get this peace and calmness because you're up on that. You got your sign in your background.
Yep.
And you got the lake, and you got like nothing, no chaos.
Yeah.
It's not an easy hole.
No.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. You got water right. You got a long skinny green, and you got bunker left.
Because once you leave this hole, this last series of finishing holes are so crazy, are so much fun, are so intense.
So that's 14. So 15.
And depending on where they put the tee box on 15, that's why they put a bathroom there. Is because
so I can go vomit after my tee shot.
because there is a lot of different places this ball can go, and very few of them are good.
For your first and your second.
Yeah, and the second one comes down to blind shot, kind of working it out with the math and the bunkers, and there's a marsh again, and when you have to walk over a bridge from the cart to get to the green, things are just through a bunker. Things are just getting wild, man. It just doesn't make any sense anymore.
I will tell you, I think I used Pythagorean theorem 2 different ways on a 3-dimensional triangle.
Yep.
Does it still work?
I think so. It's like
So I think I did it this way,
Uh-huh.
but I also did it this way, and got them wrong both times.
so we finish up that hole, and then we get the 16, which I think is the crown jewel with the
This
most.
is my favorite hole.
Yeah.
16 is my favorite hole
Be-
in that I've played in my life.
So you sit there and there's a sign that's like, "Hey, this is going to be hard." Like this is not going to be
Get up
easy.
for 5. So you're touching the screen again, and you're like, you kind of don't need to hit driver here, but you have to get it over this knoll,
Yep.
this dune, this thing.
Just the impediment in the middle of the space here that you got to get over it.
But you can see a sliver of fairway going around.
Yep. There's a stovepipe. There's a stovepipe.
And you're like, all right, well, you don't know what's on the other side. First time playing, you're like, where's my drive going to go if I hit this? So I'm hitting butt drive right now.
Yeah.
Which my butt driver is like my real drive. But I just like to give it a different name. And you hit 3-wood. We had a twosome behind us, and
Yeah.
this guy was he was a golf coach, right?
Yeah.
And he had played there a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And you hit 3-wood, and he was yelling.
And I wasn't happy about hitting 3-wood there. I'm like, I'd much rather hit driver, but I think it's too much, and I got
he
confused.
yells from the green. He's like, "You couldn't have placed it better." I'm like, "Oh, so he's good." I'm like, "All right, let me hit like butt drive." And we were both in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah.
We're driving up, and it's car path only. You drive up, and you're slowly climbing the Thunder Mountain Railroad,
Yeah.
like tick, tick, tick. And you look at this hill that's on the right.
Impediment, this thing that we were hitting over.
It's this grassy plateau, and you look at the top of it, and it's a bunker on top of a hill,
Yeah.
in the middle of a fairway.
Yeah. And I'm like,
Again, there's nothing that's going to tell you, me explaining this, me showing you a picture right here, and the fact of the matter is not only did he design this,
Yep.
not only did the superintendent have to upkeep this,
Yep.
and the golfers have to play. What happens if you hit into that?
So, you'd probably have 160 yards uphill into a crazy green.
Around the corner.
Over this, out of this bunker.
Out of a hill bunker.
Yeah, into an insane green.
Into an uphill, insane, crazy green, also protected by more bunkers and hills. And
again, what you're trying to hit it over there, but you're not trying to hit it too far because it's such a severe dogleg that you can hit it through the fairway.
Yep.
You know?
I mean, after getting up there, there is a little like hill protecting you that would kind of you would hit into and
it would roll back.
But long hitters don't hit driver.
No. But then you're straight up the side of this mountain, and once you hit it up onto the green,
bunker on the hill.
Like I said, it reminded me of number 10 at Tot Hill Farms, where you get up there and you're like, he put a cart path in the middle of the bunker, in the middle of the fairway for no reason. Yeah.
That is exactly it.
You're like, what is this doing here?
Yep. At Tot Hill Farm, it's called the Wall Hole.
Yep.
And he has this cul-de-sac built up, and we thought it was a bunker.
That one looks like a bunker from on top.
It was a cul-de-sac
with a cart path, and you're like, why is this here? This doesn't make any sense.
Exactly like it, but you can't drive on this.
No, because so you can't even get close to this green though because of the terrain. You got to be a billy goat to get to the green. So you park the cart 50 yards away. There's a series of hiking trails to get up to this green.
And dude, I think you took a picture of it, or maybe we just stopped and looked at it. It was like this weird bunker, but it had these like little chunks of clay, and it was like, imagine being here.
No,
like no way.
Nope. I quit.
No.
But then this green is so two-tiered. You know, the one day you were on the bottom and then had a hit to the top, right?
Yeah.
And that was no joke.
But it was I made that 2 putt.
Yeah.
I made par.
And then you got to walk 50 yards back to the car all the whole time, looking down on the valley.
So,
you know,
and 17 tee box is like there. You can walk from the green to the tee box.
So if you're a little backed up, you get to watch what's going on 16 while you're teeing off on 17 or waiting to tee off on 17.
Or here's the deal: if you're not the driver in the cart, just walk to the 17 tee box and let your driver swing the cart around.
So 17 is another par 3. A lot of tee boxes, carry all this cool waste area. The 2-hour podcast. It's going to be a long one. Quick one. But another crazy thin green, waste area in front.
In this way.
Yeah. At one point, you walked it off.
Yeah, I think it was like 12 feet. It was the narrowest in the middle. It's like an hourglass, but sideways. And the middle part was 12 feet.
It was 3 steps.
No, that's 9 feet.
4 steps.
I think it was 4.
4 from fringe to fringe.
From fringe to fringe.
Yeah.
12 feet.
Yep. And behind there is a wetland.
Yeah.
So the first time I hit it short, you hit it long, because it's hard to hit.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you got this. You're up high. You're up. You know. So you're
it's
like, do I take off 1 club? Do I take off 2? But then you have to carry all the sand.
So it's a good question. To a degree, the first time I ran into this was at number 1 at Twofskill. That the close, it's a big major downhill, but the closer you are, the less affected wedge shots are by drop. So here's your Pythagorean theorem again, right? I'm here, right? The green's down here, but if I'm 150 yards back and I'm hitting like this, I'm probably not hitting a 7-iron. I'm probably hitting a 9-iron, right? Yeah. But if I'm up here, right, and I'm only 100 yards away, that ball's going so high and so far, it's not going out. I shouldn't be hitting. Yeah. So I'm having this conundrum in my head.
You're telling me this now and not on the tee box.
Because I'm having the same conundrum in my head, and I'm going, am I close enough to where that major downhill doesn't matter? Yeah. Am I too far back? I couldn't figure it out. I think it was 150 yards, and I think I hit 8-iron short. Where I should have hit 7-iron, but I think that would have been long.
Yeah, dude. And you're talking about such a skinny green.
Yeah, yep.
It's like such a great hole.
Yep.
But 18 tee box.
So
I mean, we got lost. We didn't know where to go. So if you guys have been following along, we did podcast on site Tobacco Road.
Yep.
And we're standing in the
carry
caverns,
area. The
caverns that are the carry area of 18's tee shot.
I just can't believe it looks so far. I can't believe I made it over.
But I don't think it is far, but it looks.
It looks like it's 500 yards away.
So we're driving around and we're like, where do we go? Because like there's this like.
Yeah, like no way that's the tee box.
There's like this area that looks like where they get their sand from
Yeah.
for the rest of the course, or like this area where they're like, hey, throw the sand there, or like, you know, like you asked me about the ocean course where they like throw like all the punches,
Yeah.
you know, the plugs. It's like kind of like this area, and I'm not saying it's messy by any means. It's beautiful,
Pristine, yeah.
but you just don't think it's part of the course.
You think it's part of the maintenance area. You think like, oh, this is where the cart kids go to smoke pot. You know, like,
this is the under part of where they take the jump over to the other jump. This just happens to be the area where they dug out to build that jump and this jump.
but there's a tee box there,
Yeah.
and a ball washer, and a sign that says 18.
Yeah.
And
then you're like, well, it can't be there. 'Cause that's 7 feet, and
that's going the wrong way.
and that's a shed. So we have to hit this way?
And there's like again, they let you know when you look real hard. There's these little black stovepipes that stick out of the ground. And you're like, okay. So
And then there's like a little bit of an opening, and then there's these them beautiful tall trees.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, I hope the fairway's over there.
yep. And we hit a couple of drives out there, and in classic Strantz style, it's gigantic once you get over the hill.
So I hit one a little right.
Yeah.
And
It
I
hit
was
wood.
like, I'm looking in these woods. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna.
We were both in the woods.
We saw. No.
We were both looking for it.
Yeah, we were both looking for it, and then we saw your ball up there.
Yep.
And we're looking for mine. I'm like, all right, let me just drop by you. You know, it's getting dark.
Provisional,
You know. And it was my ball.
Yeah.
And you were 30 yards up further.
So now you're looking at, you can see the green, you can see the beautiful clubhouse, and there's these Adirondack chairs, and cigars are inexpensive there because it's Tobacco Road. So there's a lot of guys out there
You
having
got some
beers.
dunes protecting.
So when you hit it over the dune, if you lose the ball to the left, which is easy enough to do, there's a swell that goes down behind there where you're like, come on, you know, you're 20 yards underneath there, 20 feet below this green. But you drive up, and you drive up basically to the clubhouse, and you got all these guys. Hey guys, nice job. How you doing?
Another
Good
bell.
to see you. Another bell.
to leave the fairway when you're leaving the fairway.
And you go and you putt out on this really beautiful hole as the sun's setting, and you're like, did I just have the greatest day ever?
Dude, again, it's like the 3D glasses. Like you walk off, and you're like, it's over.
Yeah.
Like, it's
So
over.
so I was sitting outside, like, doing something, and you come out with 4 beers, and I go, that's a good idea. And I went in and got 4 beers, and you're like, why'd you get 4 beers? I was going to share these with you. I said, I don't know. I was really excited. We just had such a great day.
Yeah.
Because I looked down at the scorecard, and the first time playing Tobacco Road, I'd shot 1 under.
Dude, that
Yeah.
was absolutely amazing. I knew the whole time.
You said you had no idea.
I didn't know. I was immersed. I was immersed in the experience.
I shot
with
two-
my 3D glasses on.
Par 30, what's it, 37, 35? No, it's 36, 35, 71.
Yeah.
I shot 2 under, 34 on the front, and then came out with a 1 over on the back, 36.
It might be the other way around.
I ended up with a
I think
70,
it's a 35, 36.
35, 36.
Yeah.
But either way, I ended up with, I shot 2 under on the front, 1 over on the back, and ended up with a 70 on the day.
Dude, you told me when you tapped that par in.
Oh, and I hit the flag stick on 18.
Yeah.
I just banged it off the flag stick.
And you told me, I'm like, no way, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, no way. And I'm, whatever. Again, I'm immersed. Like, when I play courses that are this beautiful, I hate to say this, but golf's second to me
Yeah.
when it comes to these beautiful courses
Yep.
that, we partner with and they take good care of us, that I'm trying to get as much content as possible,
Yep.
which means, guys, tons of content coming out.
Tons.
But I didn't know.
Yeah.
You thought that I was just like, like you had a no-hitter going, I wasn't saying anything.
Yeah, I thought you were being
So
super
like,
cool.
Yeah, totally. I just was immersed in the golf, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, in the course.
So we turn around, and then we got bad news.
You got bad news.
One of our Strantzgiving courses the next day was Tot Hill Farms, one of our absolute favorites. And to play Tobacco and Tot Hill in the same weekend would have been unbelievable. But they put the covers on. So we went in, we talked to Adam, the pro at Tobacco, and we said, listen, we got a problem. We now have an opening in our schedule. What do you guys think we should do about it? And I'm starting to think Pinehurst. It's not that far away. And he goes, why don't you guys just come and play here again?
Yeah.
And we go, that's a thing? He goes, yeah. and I couldn't have been happier than if it was Christmas Day.
Dude, and so then we sat down on those Adirondack chairs and
Yep.
just immersed the rest because we knew that we could relax
And we were coming back.
and we were coming back, baby.
So next day we wake up
I'm
and
not going through 18 holes again.
no, but we tackle the course again,
Yeah.
and you catch fire.
Yeah, I had a good day. I birdied the first hole again.
Yep. First birdie, 2 out of 3 of the first.
Yep.
Yep.
And I ended up shooting a 78.
Shoo.
Yeah, and I had your back against the ropes until you decided to turn it on also. You shot a 40 on the front, no?
Yeah, but
No, 42.
I think no,
40.
I shot a 40, but that's because I had 40 beers that night, celebrating the one
we had a
under.
good time.
We had a blast.
So,
So,
pool. Oh yeah, you lost the pool.
dude, you're the best pool player I've ever played with, and I mean that sincerely. But I did birdie 4 of the last 6 holes to shoot 4 under on the back 32.
Dude, I cannot wait for 17. Guys, I'm telling you now, if you're watching this all the way to the end, I'm going to put this in the beginning also. When you see the content from 17 on day 2 at Tobacco Road, you're going to like it. I'm so glad that I noticed that you didn't put that content into the drive because I'm like, where is that?
Yeah.
I need that in my life right now.
Yep.
So,
But you're playing your ass off, and would you shoot on the front 30?
I shot a 37. It
30
was 2 over.
Yeah, and just crushed the front and played really well on the back. And you're having the round of your life, and I just started hitting the ball very close to the hole.
I'm glad you did. You know what? I'm glad you got to play your best golf to beat me.
So 1 under, 1 over. I shot even on the weekend at Tobacco Road.
That was a great time, and that's our made the top of
Yeah.
both of our lists.
Yeah.
And not because of that. I think the
I think it helped.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, the course, every single corner that you turn, there's a new surprise. And you know, we've talked about this once before, where you know a lot of courses you get up on a tee box
Yep.
and you're just like. You know,
Yeah.
on holes, you know, you get up there and you're like, cool. This is like every shot.
Yeah,
Every
yeah,
shot,
yeah.
your approach shot, you're even doing it, and then you get up to the green, you're like, look at this. You know, every single shot, you're just like in awe.
So you know when you go and you get like a really good deep tissue massage and they beat you up, and while it's going on, it's like really hard and they're throwing, and then at the end you're like, oh, that was so good.
Yeah.
This is the therapeutic. What do they call that? Massage shiatsu. What's the really hard one? I don't know. This is the really hard.
Something European.
This is the really hard massage.
Swedish?
No, Swedish is with the oil and stuff. Yeah.
I don't know, but I will tell you.
But when you're done and you sit on those Adirondack chairs, whether you shot 70 or 700, you did something that day. Yeah, go.
Play Tobacco Road.
Get a Saturday Skin shirt and go play Tobacco Road. And I said,
All right, so with that being said, guys, 2 days worth of content coming out.
2 weeks.
Well, 2 days of playing Tobacco Road of
Yeah.
content coming out for the next 10 to 14
Yeah.
days.
Yep.
That's leg 2 of the Strantzgiving trip. We have more legs. We have like a centipede of Strantzgiving stuff coming out.
Again, it's one of the best courses in America. We played other best courses in America on this trip.
So guys, listen, we had a blast. I mean, I think I called you a couple days ago
Yeah.
and was just like, dude, think about that trip we just did.
That's the great thing about this channel, is being able to go back and not only playing the courses, but being able to go back and revisit it. I was like, that is so much fun putting that together. I can't wait to play Tobacco Road again. I can't wait to play that course
You know
again.
what's crazy is like if you guys don't follow these pages that we're telling that we play, follow the pages on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and whatever else they're on. It kills me that they're posting stuff like from this morning.
Yeah, without us there.
No, I'm saying it looks beautiful weather.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh.
it's 90 degrees out right now,
Yeah.
and they're like playing golf.
Yep.
Why are we not there?
Dude,
Yeah.
why do we live in New York?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's starting to get confusing.
Yeah.
Yep. Ugh.
Anyway, you can rent a cabin there on 14 also. So rent a cab.
Do we ever find out how much?
I think so.
Probably less than that last place you're trying to book us in Orlando. The 13-bedroom
Oh, yeah,
place.
13-bedroom mansion
Is it
in Reunion.
50 grand for the weekend?
Yeah. But anyway, guys, listen. Thank you. If you made it this far, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We have some awesome surprise content coming out of Tobacco Road, man.
Yeah. Take a look. It's so much fun. And then figure out a way to get down there. And it's not so expensive. It's not Pebble Beach. It's not California. It's not going to be $3 grand to play down there. It's worth the trip. And stay at the Hampton Inn in where the hell were we?
Sanford.
Sanford.
Yeah. And go play pool. No, what was that? Bart's Barn?
Bart's Barn for dinner.
Bart's something.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Bart's.
All right, man. Listen, I'm Adam.
I'm Mike.
Just the tips.